Hello and welcome to hobby vlog number 211, and it is literally the week before Christmas. Next Sunday vlog will be Christmas Eve, and yes, there will be a vlog, so don't worry, and we're all getting very excited here over at the old school, and I hope that you're having a great run up to Christmas as well. This week's been fun. I've got a fair amount done. As always, as I stand recording this intro, I don't actually know how long the vlog's going to be because I record the intro, then I edit, and then I'm always interested at the end when I record the outro to see just how many minutes or hours the vlog's got on for, but it's been a good week. I've also started another little side project. I'm trying to get back into playing guitar, as if I'm not busy enough, and so I've started a new channel called 30 Minutes Guitar a Day, and I'm going to be doing a daily 30-minute vlog showcasing my guitar practice, and the purpose of that is just to keep myself focused and motivated. So don't worry about watching it if you don't want to, but it'd be cool if you did, and I will put a link in the description below. So anyway, that being said, have a great week. Enjoy the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you want to. If you don't, thank you very much anyway for watching the video, and I will see you again at the end. And oh, no, I need to say, the Let's Finish the Year Strong challenge, of course. So I have reached 105 miniatures, and I am slogging my way through my Middle-earth camel riders, which are not going to get finished this year, as you'll see later on in this vlog. But I have managed to achieve my target, which is brilliant, and I am starting to receive quite a few people sending me pictures of what they've done, which is just wonderful. I mean, that was the reason for it, wasn't it? And thank you again to the guy that suggested this. Again, my memory for names is so bad. It will be on the screen now because I put it on the flyer. And just to be very clear, if you do not want to be included in my video, please let me know. You can send me pictures anyway, and if you don't want to be included in the video, then just say and I won't. It's there just to showcase your work, and I'm not trying to make any use of it. I don't advertise on my channel anymore because of YouTube disabling the unskippable adverts. So yeah, but if you do want to take part, you've still got 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks today is New Year's Eve. That's when this ends, and then the week after I'll put the video out. So anyway, that was a bit rambly. Let's do it, and yeah, thanks for watching. I've confused myself now. Let's get on with the rest of the video, and I'll see you at the end. Right, well, we're back. Unfortunately, Angela's not feeling very well today, so it's going to be a short session, but you wanted to play, didn't you, darling? Yes, so because you want to play, we have to play, don't we? Right, calm down, calm down. So we're starting a new adventure called Excellent Fireworks. And this time, we will be joined by Barlin instead of Bilbo. So yeah, we will crack on. We'll play a little bit of it, probably a short session, and then we'll report back at the end about what adventures we've gotten up to. And as you can see, this little one is very, very excited and very, very sparkly. Everything is sparkly, isn't it, Roo? Yes, very good. Right, so let's get the game on. You dancing? I think you are. Right, so that was a fun session, very short, but we moved the story forward. So, can anyone tell me what happened? What did we do, Roo? What did we do? What did we do today?
I need Mummy to tell first.
Is that because you weren't paying attention and you forgot it? Yeah, so do you remember?
Yeah, so we went all along the road to find Primrose.
Yep, and who's that?
Yeah,
My mother.
Yes.
I was just about to say.
Were you? And what did you spot in the fields outside her mummy's house?
Marks.
Marks, burn marks from where someone had set off fireworks. Very naughty.
And then, who rapped the door?
Mummy's mum.
You rapped the door, and Mummy's mum, and well, Lobelia's mummy answered the door and was very rude. She was so rude, she wouldn't even talk to Lobelia. She rolled so badly.
Slammed the door.
She did, but fortunately we had Barlin with us on this adventure, and Barlin was very charming and managed to find out where these fireworks that we're looking for have gone to. And so then she slammed the door in our face, didn't she?
Who's got the fireworks?
Her brother.
Yeah, well remembered. So the fireworks with Lobelia's brother, and that's where we've ended it. Like I say, we're going to let Angela get a little bit of a rest, and we'll come back next week, won't we, love?
It's Mummy's Sunday.
It is Mummy Sunday, but we'll come back next week, won't we, for another session. So you're going to say bye-bye to the camera?
Bye.
Bye. Right, so these have glued on. What I'm going to do now is paint them black and then put the texture on them to match. So that's going to be quite cool. So I've just got my black paint and we're going to paint it all over the sides. So this one is going to be flush with the tower and the other one isn't. Now I'm deciding as well at the moment whether I'm going to put walls on the sides of the big square one. I probably should, to be honest. I'll use the same technique as I did for the walls that are on the roof of the product building. So I won't bother filming that because it's exactly the same. And I won't bother filming the texturing because it's exactly the same. But I just wanted to show you that this has worked. It's quite easy to cut out as well, this round shape. Worked quite nicely. So there we are. I'm not painting the bottom deliberately because you're not going to see the bottom. So there we are, that's that painted. I will paint the bottom of this and then I will decide about walls because they will go on top on the other side once they're done, if I do them. And I think I will, because it would make sense on a big platform like this that you would have walls, I think. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'll bring it back for this bit of the project once I've once they're finished, to be honest, because yeah, once they're done, once they've been textured, they'll be able to go onto the tower and I'll show what it looks like then. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice and quick to do this as well. There we are, that's the base coat done. These sand buildings appear to be cursed because I just booted this and managed to break the wall. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue that back in place, and then when that's set, and while I'm doing the texture on the top of the towers, I can put some more texture on this. So it should be okay and it should return to be roughly, well, to be strong enough. But I'm just really annoyed at myself because it's really clumsy. It was clumsy where I was storing it, basically. It's a big building and that is one of the challenges you have when you're building something this size. But fortunately the grabby glue is going to come to my aid here, and I can, as I say, I can then come and retexture afterwards. And it's pretty strong when it's dried, that. So I'm just going to use it a little bit as a filler as well for that spot there. There we are. And as I say, I will then retexture, but I properly booted it one. It was very, very clumsy of me. So yeah, I'm going to a little bit more to tidy up back here as well. So there, that's fixed at least. Let's let that go set and then put it somewhere where I'm not going to kick it again. Well, that repair has taken okay. So before I patch it up, I'm now going to come along and cut out the doorway here, which I should have done before and I forgot. So you can see that you can cut through this stuff. So if you make a mistake like this, it's not the end of the world, but it's a bit annoying, a bit of a waste of material. So there we are, and then we'll slice across. Perfect. There we are. So that wasn't very difficult. So that's cut out now. So what I'll now do is mix up some more of the mix, patch that, patch this, and at the same time I'll do my ceilings. So my tops of the tower. So this one, as you can see, I still need to do the black paint on the top, but I've put the walls on. So that's good. I'm not doing crenellations on this, just don't want to. So I'll do all of that together and then we're getting close to finished, maybe, because I've got another idea, but we'll see whether I get time. But yeah, happy with that. I remembered about that door, even if it was a bit late. Absolutely need to have two entrances here, an entrance here and one at the back, just to make it a little bit more playable. All right, so let's climb back up and talk about up here. So I've managed to finish tidying. I've decided the size of shelves that are going to go here, so they'll be done the next time the workmen are doing a little bit up here. And as you can see, we've got a big storage shelf. That's one's been moved here, which has all of my miniatures on it. So the entirety of this row is all Minework games. We've got some more random stuff there, some Black Sun and Limbo Division. We've got the Blacklist miniatures and Big Child Creatives. Here we've got some Imperial Aeronautica, Moonstone. This here is Gunfighter's Ball. And then up here MDF kits and what have you, and then the Middle Earth kits. And then what I've done is I've got the other one of these units and put it there, and that works really well. That was Angela's idea, so thank you for that, love. And I've managed to sort everything out. So Blood and Plunder is all in that cupboard. This is kind of like 3D prints and random miniatures. This is all my Lord of the Rings stuff. So we've got Evil Lord of the Rings on the top there. Oh, it's going to shut itself. There we are. Evil Lord of the Rings on the top there and on that shelf, and then my good stash at the bottom. Got lots and lots to be getting on with. And then I've put some other bits and pieces in here, including in this drawer. This drawer is my Reaper drawer. So I have more than this. This is not all the Reapers I've got. I have a bunch more which I will sort out, and I'll probably end up putting all my Reaper stuff in these drawers at the top, because that's a nice way I can see everything there and get out what I want. And I might do next year paint a Reaper miniature a week, and do a little kind of like do a vote. So what do you want me to do next week? And put 3 or 4 options and see which ones get voted for, and have a little bit of fun that way. And it may be that I enter everyone that enters into that fun into a little bit of a draw to win a miniature at the end of 2024. So that's an idea I had while I was doing this. So I've got so many, I could quite easily paint one a week, and have all my Reaper miniatures painted, and have fun with you guys on the channel. So yeah, I'll think about that, and if I'm going to do that, then I will announce it in the last week of the year. So absolutely brilliant to have cleared the corridor. As you can see, it no longer looks like a bomb's gone off, and it's really nice having Rosie's dress that me and Angela made for her hanging up where I can see it as well, which I really, really love. As part of all that, I've come down with some more projects that I'm going to start immediately. So I'll go through them one by one, but all of these are pretty much going to go onto the bench straight away. I'm going to get myself busy before Christmas because I'm feeling inspired. First of all, it's this little baggie of miniatures, and I couldn't tell you where they came from. I couldn't tell you if I printed them or if they were shop bought. I think I might have printed some of them. I think I might have shop bought some of them, but they're all villagers. So we've got a couple of people here, like serving people. We've got a villager with a fork. We've got a pregnant woman with a child. We've got a child with a bucket of spuds. We've got a woman with a stack of sticks. A couple more children. To be honest, I think I bought all these, and then another pregnant woman. So what I'm going to do, these are all going to get painted up. I'm going to stick them down onto my tongue depressors, you can see here, get them primed and painted. And I might do these over on the on an average painter, because I think these will work really well for a video there. So you can possibly jump over to there to see that at some point. But first of all, I'll just show you how I go about it. So I'm going to wash them now in the hot soapy water, wash them, because I don't know whether they've been washed yet. Stick them down onto these, prime them, paint them, base them, done. So yeah, I'll show what they look like when they're primed, and then probably bring you along briefly during the paintings, and then show you what it looks like when it's done. And for the full process, jump over to an average painter. This is some more stuff that I found while I was tidying all of my bits and pieces. There are things I didn't quite print how I wanted to. It was too big, too small. This one has a slight failure on the horn. For the orbs diorama, which is still not done, weeks and months, probably years. It's over a year since I started it, and I really need to get that finished. But what I'm going to do with these is prime them up and paint them and give them to Rosie for her doll's house, because I think they'll work really well. So I might need to put this one onto a base, because it's a bit wibbly wobbly, so I might base that one onto a large round base, and then do like a wooden floor and what have you. But mainly it's going to be prime, paint, and give to Rosie. So I'll show you what they look like when they're primed. I need to get that done now, and then when they're finished painting. This won't be very much to put onto this channel, and I won't do it on an average painter. And then yeah, hopefully Rosie can have some fun with them. Here's a random assortment of goodies that I found while I was tidying up and clearing all of my 3D printed. These are things that I've 3D printed. This actually was supposed to be Bayon, but I don't believe it is. It was sold to me as Bayon. So these, I'm probably going to paint this up with the villagers, which is another batch of stuff. So I'll probably paint that one with the villagers. But what we've got here is a pirate whose hand failed to print. So my plan for this one is to give her a hook, painter, so I'll do that one. And then I've got these two here, which I printed out, and I think I just decided not to use them. But they were just in a box somewhere. So what I'm going to do with these ones, I'm going to turn them into some kind of statues that can be used as scatter terrain. So I'll paint them up in like either as bronze or as stone or what have you. So yeah, so that's another little kind of project that I'm going to be getting on with, and I will bring these through as well. Probably won't put them onto any other channel, just show you what they look like as I'm going. Might get the hand sculpting of a little hook hand for this pirate woman, which will be quite cool, and those should be fun as well, just to paint up in as if they're monuments. So yeah, I will bring that back to the channel when I've got something to show you. Right, so I found this base which I'm going to stick the table to. But first of all, like I say, I'm going to put some boards across it so that I can make it look like it's a floor with wooden boards on it. So these are just coffee stirrers, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So basically what we're going to do is going to start in the middle, and I'm going to glue these two down so there's a join. So let's do that first. You just use super glue because it will stick it quicker. You can use PVA if you wish, but just quick swipe of super glue and these will be adhered very quickly. It also doesn't cause them to warp. So that's done with a join. So what I'm now going to do is look for one which is going to be long enough to go across the whole thing. And I might have made a mistake immediately. No, there's one. Great. So that can go all the way across the whole thing. Now this base that I'm using is actually not technically a base for miniatures. It's actually been popped out of the middle of an MDF kit, and I looked at it and thought that would be really good for a base for a miniature, and I'm already using it. So there we are. So what we're then going to do is bring a smaller piece in and just work across, keeping that roughly in the same alignment, so it looks like it's a properly laid floor, and yeah, get that all glued in. So I'll get this done, the rest of it off camera, and then leave that to dry. It needs to dry fully because the next step will be snipping off the overhang, and that you don't want to knock things off and disturb them, so probably leave it even overnight. It doesn't need to be overnight, but you may as well, not in a rush. So yeah, I'll get that finished, build the rest of these up, going both ways, and then I'll bring you back when I come to the cutting and the staining, and then we can stick that on and it will look like it's in a nice drawing room. When I changed my mind, I decided to stick them straight onto the bases rather than onto the tongue depressors. So I've done that, and what I'm going to do now is get some thin sausages of milliput and just fill in the slotters on these. So yeah, so I'm going to get that done now and then prime them, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're all primed and ready for painting. I left this overnight with a heavy weight on it, and that has now stuck down really nicely. Like I say, you can use PVA if you want to. Certainly PVA will work very well for this because it's wood on wood. But what I'm going to do now is I have these snips here. These are actually technically for snipping wires, but oh, that pinged. But as you can see, you can work your way around and just snip off the excess quite easily with these, and tidy up the base, and you get a nice finish like that. So I'll get that done, and that's how I make my oh, look, that went a long way. If you don't want it to go a long way, don't try and cut so much. So if you just cut a little bit, these coffee stirrers will just splinter, and the small amount will clip off rather than the large amount. So yeah, that's a little tip. So I'll get these snipped off, and then when that's done I'll bring you back to show you, oh, that went on the floor, show you how I'm going to do the painting. So yeah, but it's a really nice effect and it works really, really well. Most of the time when I'm painting wood, I use wood stain. However, my wood stain has all gone off. I don't use it very often. You can only buy it in big tins, and I need to get some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of this nice rich reddy brown, and just going to paint it on in stripes following the grain. So the paint and the grain will both work together to give a bit of a grain texture. So yeah, that's the plan. So I'll get that done. It'll take long, as you can see, almost finished. And then when that's dried, I'll seal it with some varnish. This is going to be being played with by Rosie, so it needs to be nice and solid. So yeah, once that's dried, I'll seal it with some varnish, and then we'll be good to go. This base will be done, and all I need to do then is paint up the table and stick it on. I might do a little bit of weathering on this as well, I'm not sure. But like I say, it's going to be for a doll's house, so it's not supposed to be very dirty in there. So I think that should be alright. So just paint the rim. There we are, good. So yeah, so I'll let that dry and put that to one side. And now what I'm going to need to do is paint up the furniture. And what I should actually say as well, this is all in a box at the moment. Move that out of the way. Zoom out. I have primed up all the other pieces, so that can now go into this box, which I'll carry down to my painting area, and I'll get this all painted up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that when I do it. Now that's what you call a forest of clamps. And I've not run out of clamps, I've run out of space to get them in. So there's a window here, there's a window here, there's a window here, and there's one here as well that I've not been able to get my clamps into, so I've not been able to glue the window in. So I've just glued the curtains in, so I've just got to wait for this to dry, and then I'll be able to do the final 4. And then there is actually a little bit more to do. I forgot, I've got a little bit of painted white to do on the insides of these, where some of the tabs are, just on this floor, on the top floor, and then we'll be done, which is really cool because it looks great and I'm very pleased. And as I promised, the final thing I'll show you is the pub sign. But I'll let these dry, get the last of the curtains on, paint that white on the inside of the walls, and then then wrap it up. Well, these are all primed up now, so I'm going to take them down and they're going to jump onto the painting bench. As I say, I think I'm going to do a painting video for these, so watch out for an average painter, and you'll see the painting video for these pop up shortly after I've finished painting them. And next time you'll see these on this channel will be when they're done, probably, and maybe one time halfway through the paint job. Really happy that I found these, because they're really cool and they're going to go really well, particularly with games of What a Cowboy, as some kind of bystanders, what have you. I think that really adds a lot to that game when you've got bystanders. You've got to worry about hitting them, which is a really cool little mechanic. So yeah, happy about that. You can see I did the sausages as well, and these are filled with milliput now in the slotters, so that's good. Happy that that worked out really well and was very quick. Well, I had another delivery, and there will be an official unboxing video of this coming out, and I've just filmed a little bit of it. This is a Kickstarter called And That's How I Died, which was very recent, actually. It arrived so quickly. It was really well packed. It comes with a little playing kind of like surface, a couple of packs of cards, and a rule book inside. And I'm going to be doing a proper unboxing and talking about it in detail, so I'm not going into too much detail now. But basically the theme is that you're dead heroes and you're trying to brag about what kind of an awesome death you had, and the most awesome death wins. So it's a really cool little concept. But like I say, I'll do a proper unboxing, but that did arrive today. Can Santa arrive in time? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Because I printed this last night and I'm going to start painting this up with the aim of having a little diorama for the Christmas dining table. So this is from Dungeons and Dreadnoughts. I've done a few videos recently. They just had a very successful Kickstarter campaign for Cyber Dynasty, and that was great. I printed up and painted one of the miniatures from that, which is really good. And I've got a fair few things I've done of theirs before as well, including the massive dropship diorama, which also we love. So yeah, this is something from their tribe, and it's a cyber Santa Claus with a rocket sleigh. So I'm actually going to prime this using my German red-brown primer, which I don't use very often at all, but I think that would work well for the red miniature, and I also just want to try it out. So I'm going to give that a go. I might prime the presents with the normal grey, but yeah, I'm going to prime both the rocket sled and Santa himself in the grey, in the red. However, I will need to stick Santa down to a stick. So I'll do that, let that dry before I prime, because super glue and paintbrushes don't go well. But at least I can start to prime and paint up the sled. I will be doing snow effects and all sorts of fun on this, and I'll bring you along and we'll get this done, and hopefully this will be ready before Christmas. And you'll know, because if I do, then the video will be up before Christmas. Well, let's have a quick look at the state of play of this. So basically the building is done and the base is done. I trimmed it out yesterday just using a sharp knife, and next up I'm just going to need to put a little bit of the grout mixture around the edges just to cover up some of this cardboard. But I'm really happy. I thought it was quite warped, but looking at it closely it's actually really, really good. The tops for the tower are coming on. I've done the first coat of the grout mix, and what I've decided I'm going to do, which is going to add a bit of time but I should get it done in time, is I'm going to do the bricks on the sides of this and this in very much the same way as I'm doing the tower. The second part of the tower is coming on really nicely. As you can see, I've just got one more section to do, and so yeah, and then I'll need to paint it now. If we have a look at the tower, if I just zoom in on the tower that's there, you can see some white bits and scrapes and what have you. That occurred when I first fitted the building over the top, and this was actually a little bit, the hole was actually a little bit, had some grout mixture which had fallen over the edge and shrunk it. So that's looking really good, and now I'm going to come on and I'm going to add stuff to it and make it complicated again. Now, if you are a long-term viewer, you will remember these little pots. These are my snakes that I cast using plaster. I actually don't know where the casts have gone. I should find them really, because they're really cool. But yeah, so these are these are plaster casts of snakes. Some of them are broken, some of them are pretty good. Some of them are a little bit miscast, but they still are definitely snakes. And because I want to tie this into my snake temple, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these out and I'm going to glue some of them on. So for example, I'm going to glue a snake on up here, and then what I'll do is I will blend it in using the same grout mix, and then I'll just paint it over. Or I might even actually paint them before I stick them on. I might paint them red, in this same red that I've got for the tower, and then stick them on and blend them in. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to paint them red. I'll work out how many I need. I've got quite a lot. I don't need to do any more casting because I overcast before quite a lot. But I've kept them. They've just been in a drawer. And funnily enough, it was doing the tidying that I did the other day to move things up into the roof space where I found these. So I've got all sorts of different styles. These ones are particularly cool. So yeah, I'll be doing that. So I'll get them painted, and then I'll bring you back when I'm going to do the gluing, and we'll get all the brickwork finished, and then that should be done. Well, as you can see, I've painted these up, and I've also painted the one that you can't see, which will go in the other window, other doors. And this is how I'm going to arrange it. So I'm going to have these style here are going to be at the thirds of on every wall. So one here, one here, one here. By the main door, I'm going to have the two snakes. And then I have 1, 2, 3 other doors, and I've got 4 of these snakes, so I'll probably put one of these on each door and have the other one somewhere else. I'm not sure, maybe I'll just put it back in the box. So yeah, so as I've said, I'm going to make use of my Moment Fix Extreme, and once that's dried on, then I will be putting some more of the texture to blend them in. So a little bit of glue on the back of that, and then stick that in place like so. There we are. So I will get these glued in and then move around, do the other walls, get them all glued in, and then once that's done and they're all set, I will put the grout mixture on to blend them, and I think that adds quite a lot of theme and interest to this. So I'll get that done and bring you back when that's finished, and when I've got it all done, I'll show you what it looks like, because it's just going to be putting more of the same grout mix on. Yeah, I'm pleased about that as an idea. Angry Santa is all primed up, as you can see, with this slightly different primer to what I'm used to using, but hopefully it's going to work. I've got all of the presents. I've got his sled and Angry Santa himself. So I'm going to go down now and start painting that. As I said, I want to get this done before Christmas, and it is the 23rd today, no 13th today even, so I have about 10-11 days to get this finished, including the base. So I'm going to get cracking and get this painted up, and I'll show you a little bit about that. I'm probably not going to, actually I don't know, I can't decide. I might do a paint along. It does slow me down a bit, so I might do a paint along video. I'm undecided, but at the very least I'll show you a few progress updates on this channel with how it's going. So yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, so here is the little sign, and there's two things that I need to do. One of them is hope I've not lost the little ring that goes in there, and the second thing is to glue the actual sign holder on. So I'm going to use super glue because it's going to grab a bit easier, but I will probably stand the building up as well once this is kind of tacked on, just to make sure it doesn't fall off. Super glue does grab well like that, as you can see, and then that will slide on, and then there's a little ring which I've just realised I don't have anymore. I had it and I painted it, and I've put it down somewhere, or lost it, so hopefully I can find that very soon. Otherwise that's not going to work very well. I'm going to need to make myself something to hold the end on, which I can probably do quite easily. That's frustrating, isn't it? And then the other thing I need to do is just paint some dark grey along here and on the handle, just to make that, and that is the last of it done. So yeah, I'm now going to panic and search high and low for that piece which is missing, and hopefully I'll find it, and then I'll show what it looks like when it's swinging in place. When I found it, it was on the floor, and here it is, just a tiny little thing. So what I'm going to do now is, hopefully this is tacked on well enough, I'm going to slide that on carefully like so. It swings. I'm going to put super glue inside this little ring, just a little bit. There we are. And then I'm going to slide that on. There we are. So that now still swings because the super glue didn't go near it. There's a little bit more painting I'm going to need to do on this on the outside, but I was aware that was going to happen. But there we are, we've got the pub sign. Whee! So a little bit of light grey, a little bit of dark grey here, and then I'm finished. Well, this has proven to be a little bit fiddlier than I expected, but I'm getting there. So I've had to resort to using a toothpick to apply it because the brush was just not accurate enough. I also mixed up the mix a little bit too liquid at first, so I had to let it dry, let it set for an hour or two. But with the toothpick, I'm able to get the application in flat rather than from coming in at an angle. I am making some mistakes, as you can see just here, but that's where a brush does come in useful. So what I can do is, with my brush, I can just come in and move that away. There we are. Now that is actually broken there. The snake actually has a bubble when I cast it, which I don't mind. I don't mind this looking a little bit ancient and aged. And then what I'm doing is basically filling in the gaps behind these ones. The mix is now starting to skin over in my bowl, which is exactly how I want it, because then I can come in here and can cover over this white, like so. So yeah, it's taken a bit of time, but now that the mix is the right way and I've got the correct tool for the job, it's going quicker than it was, I can tell you. But it's a bit of a fiddly one. So yeah, a mix of brush and toothpick and a lot of patience, and by the time I'm finished with this, it will look great. So yeah, still need to finish the bricks, so I'll probably do those tomorrow. Once this is done, try and get the rest of the towers, all the tower stuff finished tomorrow, because I want to finish this, and then yeah, then I can take some pictures to submit to the Discord. We've got a new person joining this contest, which is always exciting. So yeah, and of course, whenever you watch this, you can always come and join us, because Ryan does a new contest all the time, and while the Discord's there, we will be doing this because we have such fun with it. Right, I'll stop nattering. As you can see, it is a bit fiddly, but it works out okay. I'll probably come in with the paint again and just touch up the snakes once this is dry as well. There's a few places where I've made mistakes that I'm not able to fix with the brush at the moment. Like on this one, it probably won't. And it's still a little bit goopy. Still a little bit goopy, so it's sinking a little bit fast. It's running down a bit, which I don't really want. So I might have to come back to that when it's a little bit drier as well, when the actual mix is drier. So yeah, we're getting there. And it's definitely worthwhile doing this. I think it adds a lot to the build. And because this build is not big enough yet, and because I want to do it, I want to have a couple of bits of scatter terrain made out of this. And the inspiration for this came because I'd sifted out all of my sand that I've been using for my grout mix, and I've ended up with this. And I think that would look really, really cool as some scatter terrain. So I've got a sheet here of cardboard. I'm going to try and do it on cardboard again. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I've also got some leftover mix here because I've finished doing the snakes and that's been left over. So what I'm going to do, and again, this will work or it won't, is I'm going to put a dollop of PVA glue and spread it around and throw some of this sand on top, wait for it to dry, and then hopefully it'll be a little kind of like thing of a little area of rough ground that I can do. So literally going to use my shovel to bring some of this in and spread it around. Might put a bit more PVA on the bottom of this just to give it a helping hand, that bigger rock. And then I'm going to get my sand mix and kind of put that around the edge. So the idea here is that we've got the sandy bit, and this will dry, as you've seen in the other one, looking quite nice. So yeah, this is an idea that I haven't had before, and I'm trying for the first time, as I often do on the channel. So we're just going to see whether this works. So it looks actually like maybe what I need to do is mix in. There we are, that's probably going to work better. It's going to be difficult to work with, but if I mix in this thicker stuff, I'm going to do that in part here and see how that turns out. I almost need a little bit of water to help me with this, I think. Just to help. Yeah, a little bit more water. So let's see how this dries. We'll let this dry overnight, and we'll come back together tomorrow and see what happens. Put a little more PVA in. Just scatter that over, and then with a bit of water tap it in and see what happens. So yeah, I'll report back, but I would very much like to have some scatter terrain in this style. I just don't know if this is going to be how it's going to work. So yeah, we'll see in the morning, I suppose. And this is done. So we've got the little pub sign, which is really, really cool. And I've done the final bits of touching up with the paint, including the dark grey on the bottom of the door, of the floor, of the door. Said it right first time. So there are a couple of bits which I haven't been able to get absolutely. So the tops of these I could potentially have painted. So because it comes up through here, as you can see. So when this is set on, there's a visible tab, which I don't really like. But apart from that, I've managed to get everything, done it to a good standard. And I'm really happy. I mean, I really like the building. It was a lot of fun to put together, a lot more fun than that tower. And I think it looks great. So yeah, time to take some pictures, get them submitted for the little friendly contest for the that I'm doing for what used to be Paint All the Minis, and is now just a group of geeks or something like that. So yeah, get that photographed, and this is a building completed. So yeah, success before Christmas. I'm pretty happy about that. Well, my Frozen Blackbird project has languished for quite a while in real time. Months I've sat there, I've been looking at it. I've had various other things I've been working on, but I really want to get this done. I want to get it out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the final of the transfers on that I'm going to do. I'm not going to put all the transfers on, because then afterwards I'm going to be putting like the frosting over the top. And I've also been looking at these. These arrived a little while ago. These are actually bush icicles. So I bought a few packs, way too many. I didn't realise I'd get so many in a pack, so I bought quite a few packs. I was originally going to make my own icicles, but I saw these and they're going to be absolutely perfect. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to be finishing off the transfers, but I thought I'd quickly also show these. So as you can see, they're really nice, and they are going to be stuck around the edges of the plane. And how I'm going to do the frosting on top, I'm not totally sure yet. So if anyone has any ideas, drop them in the comments below. It might be I've already done it, but yeah, drop them in the comments below anyway if you've got any ideas. My one idea is to use PVA glue, which if I paint that on, then that might kind of like flake a little bit, and it might look a little bit like frosting. So that's one idea I've got, so I might try that. Anyway, so I'm going to finish off my transfers. I'm not going to do very many more, but there's a couple around the cockpit that I want to do. So yeah, so I'll get that done, and then I will, when that's dried and all gone on properly, then we'll come and have a look at the actual icicles, and I will do a base for it, and then finally this will be done and I can put it on display, which I'm very much excited for. This is where I've got to at the end of the first session, painting on for this awesome Santa Claus. I had a lot of fun, but I got very tired, so I've come back now just at the end of the day. I'm going to get a little bit of time to paint before I'm cooking tonight, so I thought I'd just do a little bit more. I am filming this, so this will appear on the an Average Painter video channel, which is going pretty well, so thank you to everyone that's watching it. So yes, I'm going to get stuck into this now and add a little bit more detail. As you can see, we've got bronze, we've got gunmetal blue, and we've got silver. And I'm actually looking at this, and I think I'm going to paint some more stuff silver today, and then I'll go back to working on Santa Claus himself. And right now I'm about to start printing out a Grinch as well, so we might have Santa Claus and Grinch going on the dining table, but we shall see how well that goes, and that will come to the channel as well when it does. So yeah, I'm going to keep painting on this, and get a little bit, and maybe spend an hour or so now. I've got a little bit of time, spend a bit of time painting this, and as I said, it'll be being filmed for one of my time-lapse videos on an Average Painter. Well, I finished painting these up, and yeah, he's looking great. Really pleased with how that's looking. So next up I'm going to work on a base, which is going to be snowy, and it's going to have the him standing on the sleigh with the presents, which are actually ammo cases, and then zooming towards the air, so at an angle. So that's going to be fun. I will gather together my materials and bring you along for that. Well, I finished all the brickwork on the tower and on that tower top, and also around the outside of that tower top. And this is still drying. It's been cold, I've not lit the fire today. You can see there's still glue. I actually ended up dripping some of my scenic glue, watered down PVA onto it, and then I've weighted it down so it doesn't warp. And yeah, it's looking really nice, but it needs to dry. So I might actually need to take that downstairs now into the warm so that it dries, because yeah, I'm not lighting the fire up here tonight either. So yeah, but still progress being made. I have to get that painted, and then this will be done, which is really cool. Well, I've managed to finish this, which is really cool, and these videos are going up on the an Average Painter channel and getting quite good views, which is really nice. So thanks to everyone who's watching it. So there we are. We have all of the miniatures from the French Nationality starter set, including the captain, or whatever you want to call it, the leader. And yeah, these were a lot of fun to paint. I really like the metal miniatures from Blood and Plunder. They have just released very recently, I've only seen it in the last couple of weeks or a couple of days even, plastic versions. So at some point I may end up picking those up, but certainly not anytime soon, because I've still not even finished all of the normal starter sets, and I'm not totally sure which I'm going to do next. I might end up doing the English, which I haven't done yet, which is quite ironic, isn't it? But I'll zoom a little bit so you can see those. And this is how I display all of my Blood and Plunder miniatures. I take the card that comes inside the packet, cut it and fold it so that each miniature goes back into its right place, and so I know which one each is, and it makes a really nice display on my shelf. So they were nice that I finished this week, and another whole batch of miniatures there, as you can see. That's 25 miniatures, so that really went a long way towards my finish the year strong challenge, which I've achieved, which I'm really pleased with. So yeah, all gravy now on that as well. Anyway, I'll stop rambling, just happy I got them done, and I think they look great. Well, I've been thinking about what I'm going to do for this diorama, and I've come up with an idea which I'm going to try out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a roof for him to be flying off of. So I'm going to make use of some of this XPS here. It's very hard XPS, which is really, really good. And I'm just going to cut that at 45 degrees, which then means I'll be able to make a pitched roof. And I can glue that together. I can then put the roofing tiles on it, paint it, and then once that's done, I can put my snow effect on it, and he can be attached to the roof, either going along the side, or if I put a proper ridge on it, I can glue him along the ridge. I'll work that out when I get to it. But for now, what I'm going to do is spool up my Proxon with the angle attachment and give that a cut. So I'll move the camera over and show you how that works. So I'll just slice this down so that it's 60mm deep, which is what I want. And I've got this set up to 45 degrees, and it's as simple as turn it on and push it through. And just make sure that you keep it moving and make sure that it stays completely flush, and then that cuts a nice 45 degree angle. So do the other one. Oops. There we go. And if we put that together, we have a nice looking roof. So let's go back over and make sure I've not made that too small. Well, there we are. As you can see, that has worked fine, and it is actually the right size, which is also good. So what I'm going to do now, just quickly glue this together and let it go off overnight, and then I will crack on with this tomorrow if I get time, which I might do. I might do a little bit more actually. There might be a few bits I can do while I'm waiting for this to dry. So I need to make the shingles for it, obviously, and I'm going to hand make those out of cardboard. So I can potentially make those now. So I just need to make runs as long as this is wide. There we are. And I also need to make the end piece, so the boards that will go there. So I might get onto that now as well. But otherwise I'll just let that to dry, and then tomorrow I can glue the shuttering on, glue the shingles on, or the tiles, whatever, and then paint it, and then put the snow effects on, and then stick him in place, and then done. So it sounds easy, doesn't it? But let's see how quick I do manage it. But yeah, I'm going to go get some cardboard, and I'll show you how I'm going to make the shingles. Right, so this is super simple. What I've got here is some Rice Krispie packet, and I've marked 2 centimetre notches here, so I can cut 2 centimetre strips just using a sharp knife and my safety ruler, which is absolutely the best tool ever to buy. Not sure if I'll do 2 centimetre, I might trim them down a bit more. So let's have a quick look at what that looks like before I cut any more out. To be honest, that's probably enough anyway for what I need. So I'll just quickly cut these out and have a look at what they look like. There we are. So we've got the first strip out. So let's offer that up against the roof. Actually, I think that's going to be about right, because I'm going to be overlapping them, obviously. So yeah, that's about right. So I'm going to keep cutting a few more of those sides out, and then when I've got them all, trim them to the length, and once I've done that, then I'll come back and show you the next step. Right, so I've got enough for one side here, and what I'm going to do now is show you how I'm going to do how I'm going to do this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I've measured 1.5 centimetre centres, and what we're going to do is we're just going to cut out little triangles and also cut the end, and that will be our first course. So you're going to do alternating like this basically. So the first course is going to have on simple 1.5, and maybe do it a little bit bigger than that one, so I might do that one again. But for this, scissors are by far the easiest way to do it. Doesn't take very long. I mean, if you've got to do loads of these, then you can make yourself a jig and all sorts. But as soon as then you have to do like, what, 5 a side, it's not that many. So that's the first one. The second one is going to be offset because you overlap the tile, you overlap roof tiles. So I'm going to offset it by 1/2 and actually by 3/4. Sorry. And then mark the centres again. Oh, and I need to mark the first one. Don't forget that one. So I'll do the same for this, just cut these little triangles out. There we are. And when you overlap those and overlay those, you can see that they offset nicely and will look really nice together. So I'm going to keep doing that now, just get these cut off, get this side done and then the other side done, so I end up with 10 on the side. And yeah, then we'll look to sticking them onto the actual roof like this. So the only other thing that we're actually going to do, let me just mention this as well, because I'll do all this together, is we're just going to snip up, not all the way, just a little bit like this, so you end up with tabs from the centre of the V. Cool, so I'll get all of these done. Once I've got all of the roof tiles done, I'll bring you back, show you how I'm going to glue them in place. Right, so now we're going to get this all stuck together. And I haven't actually looked at this Copydex for a long time. Yeah, my Copydex is still okay. Good, so I'm going to use Copydex. I was going to use PVA, but I think Copydex is going to be a better idea. So we'll smear some Copydex all over this. Actually, I think the applicator's broken. Don't think that's what the applicator should look like. Yeah, so anyway, that's a bit of a shame. I think maybe it's been quite a while since I've used this. So I think that what's happened is the brush has got stuck inside the bottle. So I might need to do something about that. So bear with me while I apply this. I might put some out onto my tray, onto my little thing, and then use a tongue depressor to scoop it up and spread it around, which I have right here. I think that's going to be a better idea. Yeah, that's a better idea. There we are. So we're going to smear some Copydex on, put the roof tile strips, which I prepared last night now, but a couple of seconds ago for you. There we are, perfect. And I've got these numbered, nice and organised. So we'll put one on, and we'll clamp that just at the bottom. So we'll clamp that like that. I'm not going to clamp it where it's going to overlap, because obviously what I'm then going to do is put a little bit more Copydex. These are not right, so we'll just do that. Well, these were annoying, it keeps flipping round. No, I'll do it that way around. So, clumsy as I am. There we are. So we'll then put a little bit more Copydex just over the top and layer it up like this. So I will get this, continue to do this all the way, and I'll show you what it looks like when this side is done. So here's number 2, and onwards and onwards. So we'll do that. Stick it in place, like so. Get a clamp, put it over where it's overlapping this time, and that will just hold it in place. And onwards and onwards. So I'll repeat that process, get this all done, and I'll show you what it looks like when I've got all this side done. I'm not going to have much time because Rosie's downstairs playing nicely because this is a surprise for her. So I've told her to get it done before Christmas. So I'll better get on with this and go back downstairs and join her. Wow, that Copydex is awesome. I bought it for the model railway and forgot I had it until that second, and wow. So I didn't need to pour it out at all. What I've done is I've just used this, and I'll probably keep this now with the Copydex. I've just used that as a little spatula to apply it. And as you can see, I have that one side done. And Rosie did come up looking for me, so I better get back downstairs. So yeah, wicked. I'll leave that to set, and then we'll do the other side, which will be exactly the same, so I won't show you how that works, how that goes. I'll just get on with that, and I'll bring you back when I come to the final part of the roof, which is going to be doing the top. So I'll show you how I work out the whatever it's called. Can't think of it off the top of my head right now. As soon as I stop recording, I'll remember. Whatever. There we are. Right, onwards. Let's go play with Rosie. Well, I'm not one to take a rest. It's a week till Christmas, and I've just printed and cured this fantastic Grinch sculpt, which I'm going to attempt to paint up before Christmas Day and have that on the dining table alongside the Santa Claus that I'm already working on. Yeah, so literally just finished curing it. So what I'm going to do is prime that. I'm probably going to stick it down onto a tongue depressor as well to help me, but I might not, I'm not sure, I'll see how I feel, but I'm going to prime it up now and try to get that painted. I'm not going to film it because it will add too much time. What I might do, I'm not sure, but I probably won't film it. So yeah, and it's just going to be something to put on the table for Rosie to go, ooh, and just kind of make the little bit of a festive feeling for her. So this came from R&E Studio, I think. They just sent it out as a freebie, which is really, really cool of them. It might not have been R&E, I can't remember. I will try to remember and say which sculptor sent that out. It's just gone from me for now. But yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty happy with that, that it got sent, but it was only sent a few days ago, so I've literally printed it today and cured it. I printed it yesterday, cured it today, and now I can prime it and get it painted. And I'm going to have to look for some art to get the exact correct colours, because yeah, I will do watch the film, but I can't remember exactly. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's get this primed up. I'll show you what it looks like, probably just when it's done. Alright, so this is all dry and set, and here is my ridge tails, which is what the word I was looking for. And so I've just cut a strip which is also 2 centimeters wide, done the same thing with the little notches, but I've not cut any vertical cuts just because I don't want to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on with Copydex again. Seriously, best thing ever remembering I had the Copydex. So we'll take the Copydex that we can off of the stick like this, and then it is smelly though, Copydex, goodness me, it stinks. And then we'll take my tongue depressor and cover the whole of it like that, and then I'll clamp it in place, leave it half an hour or so, so it doesn't take long to set, and then I'll do the other side. And once that's set, we can start painting it, and the best way to clamp this is with one of these clamps. Oh, there we are. So yeah, clamp that in place, let that set, and then when that side's done, because obviously I can't really, oh, I need to come in from the side. I've bent my, that was careless. Take that one off. Because what I've done is I've bent my tile there, so I need to come in from the sides. Oops. Right, so when that's set, I will do the other side, this side, and then when that's all set, I'll bring it back and we'll look at painting it. I've also actually printed out, not painted yet, but I printed out some more of these kind of type presents. So I've just primed them which is why my hand's got primer on it. So yeah, so I will, that there will also be a little more presence, a little bit more stuff in the sleigh, and I'm really loving how this sleigh is looking. I think it looks really, really cool. Anyway, I'll be back shortly to show you how I'm going to paint the roof. Well, the tidying and reorganisation goes ahead, and as you can see here, we've got the shelves above the doorway, and I've moved some of my miniatures and mini dioramas up here out the way, out of the living area and guest area where they could potentially just gather dust, and they're not really something which we want to have on general display for everyone that visits. But I'm really pleased with how these look. I've even got some space for some more. And up above you can see we've got some more rack. Now this actually ended up being the wrong dimension, so I've got some more coming. It's arrived, but it snowed so heavily that I wasn't able to get down to the courier yesterday, so we'll get that tomorrow. And they'll be replaced, and I'll be able to put some more shelves across there for some more stuff to display. So yeah, it's nice to start getting things organised. And then if I carefully pan round past all my awesome posters, we have got the Hobbit posters up now, so my Lord of the Rings wall is looking awesome. And what I've also done, haven't sorted them out yet, but I've brought the display boxes of Lord of the Rings miniatures up, and the few loose Lord of the Rings miniatures that I have, including my awesome eagles I took to Ardacon. And this is where they will end up being displayed. Now I still need to do a bit of tidying and a bit of sorting on these miniatures, but yeah, just starting to get things a little bit more squared away and a bit more where we want it to go. So pretty happy with all that. I'm still slaving away at these. They do take a long time. And there's another couple here. So these are the two I'm filming for an average painter. And these are the 3 dismounts I'm filming for an average painter. And then I'm painting all the rest, not on camera. And dear goodness me, it is taking some time. But we'll get there. I also realised that I do not have the little cacti that I want for the bases, so they're on their way. So these are definitely not going to get finished this year, because the bases will not be able to be finished this year because the cacti won't have arrived. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but I'm still going to push on with them, get as much as I can done, and I am painting some other things as well to continue on my little challenge to try and get a few more done. I'm on 105. Hopefully I can get past that before the end of the year. But yeah, I keep saying I love these miniatures, but they are so, I mean the dismounts are alright, but the camel riders, the actual camels, are so fiddly and awkward to paint, with so many little details and so many, like, you've got to have such good brush control, and I really am struggling with that at the moment, because whenever I'm painting I'm too tired. Yeah, I'm really struggling with them. Anyway, onwards. It's something that's worth doing is not always easy. Well, there we are, a really varied week with a lot of rush as I start two projects 2 weeks before Christmas, aiming to have them on the Christmas dining table. So yeah, let's see how well I do that. We'll know by the end of next week, the end of the vlog, whether I've managed to do both. Pretty happy that I'll get the Santa done, but the Grinch, well, let's just see how it goes. So yeah, it's been a really good week. Yesterday it snowed a lot. It snowed pretty much all Friday night and all day Saturday. Myself and Rosie got to make a fantastic Sammy snowman. I'll try and remember to pop a picture up on the screen now. It was really lots of fun. And as soon as I've finished uploading this, I'm going to go outside with a sled with Andrew and Rosie, and we're going to go and continue having some fun in the snow, because it probably won't hang around for very long. So yeah, we're going to go and do some sledding. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and so there's been a lot of other things outside of what you see on the vlog, but it's been a nice productive week, and I hope that you've enjoyed the video and the projects that I've been working on. So don't forget, it's 2 weeks to go until the end of the Let's Finish the Year Strong Challenge. Get your pictures over to me, let me know in the comments, fire them on Discord, fire them on email, however you wish, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone has achieved. And thank you to everyone who has so far sent me pictures. I can't tell you how inspiring that is for me, so it's absolutely brilliant. And the only other thing to say is I have taken an inventory of all of my Reaper miniatures, which we saw in those drawers, and next year I am going to be running some sort of a raffle where you'll be voting weekly on which miniature I'm going to paint the following week, and I will start that next Sunday. So the vote from Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve will be for the miniature that I will start on New Year's Day, and that's going to be my personal challenge through 2024. Is going to be to paint a Reaper miniature a week, and you people, you lovely people, are going to pick it. Anyway, that's enough rambling. If you've made it this far and you read that and you hear that, I really should have said that in the intro, shouldn't I? Then thank you very much. Really appreciate the fact that you're watching. And I'll wrap up by saying, as I always do in all of my vlogs, if any of you out there are impacted directly or indirectly by the horrific wars going on in Ukraine or in Israel and Palestine, then my thoughts do go out to you and to everyone who you might know who might be in that situation. It's just shocking to me that we're so close to Christmas again and it's still going on. Madness. Really, really madness. And to everyone, please do stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.